Now let's move on to Marxism. है ना? So what do you know about Marxism? What is Marxism? But so is socialism. Lenin has said, na, socialism is the ideology of proletariat. Yes, they adopted the revolutionary path. But what is the difference between Marxism and socialism? Socialism does believe in class question. There is a class question. But what is the fundamental difference between Marxism and socialism? Or if I put the question in a different manner, what is the unique thing which is present in Marxism but not present in other forms of socialism? Many of the socialists want to do that. They want to establish a commune system. Even the utopian socialist was thinking about establishment of communities. Robert Owen, Charles Fourier, they did that. Establishment of communities. So commune system is present as well. Through revolution, fine. Yes, revolution is one thing which is different. But why is it so different? Why they are always in favor of revolution? I mean, what is it which makes the Marxists believe that revolution is the only method? Or what is it which actually distinguishes between the thoughts of Karl Marx, to be precise, and the thought of other socialists? Because socialism has a long history, right? Similarly, if you think about anarchism also has an element of revolution. They also think about having a pure anarchy, working through communes, working through voluntarism, working through the volition of an individual, but towards the larger upliftment, no state as such. So what is the fundamental difference? And see what happens. UPSC frames different kind of questions from here. One of the questions which UPSC frames is how socialism paved a way for Marxism. So in that you have to write everything about socialism and how is it impacted Marxism. And the problem with understanding Marxism is that there are so many methods that are termed as Marxism. Moreover, there is a fundamental problem because Marxism in the longer run became a state ideology. USSR, that thought about Marxism as the state ideology, and they said that we are going to establish a proper communist society, and it is only through our programs that a communist society can be established, right? And the best point to understand Marxism is that you first try to understand what were the thoughts of Mr. Karl Marx, right? This is the first thing. Because why I am pointing out it is that whatever Marx has written, all other people who have followed Marx's idea, they have just developed over it. So whether it is Gramsci, we have already discussed about it, ideological hegemony, power concept, right? So I don't want to repeat that here. Or whether it is about scholars like, let's say, to some extent, Bob Jessup, who has the crystallization of strategies for state. And there he comes within the fold of neo-Marxism. Even many of the Dalit intellectuals in India are also trying to have some relation with neo-Marxism. So many people claim that to some extent Professor Gopal Guru's arguments sometimes were like a neo-Marxist. But he himself never used that term for his ideas. Moreover, the way Karl Marx thought about Marxism is very different from the way Stalin thought about Marxism as a state ideology or socialism as a state ideology. Plus, the only way to understand how Marxism is different from socialism is to focus on what Marx has to offer on socialism. Because see, Marx was a socialist, right? It is not like Marx was not a socialist. And interestingly, when I think one of the worker party meetings where some of them asked Marx that, okay, are you a Marxist? And he replied that I will be the last person to call myself a Marxist. So according to Marx's perspective, there is nothing called Marxism, right? He is not thinking about Marxism as an ideology. He himself calls her that I am a socialist. So when you think about Karl Marx, he is not saying that I am a Marxist, which means that Marxism is a product after the death of Karl Marx, isn't it? If Marx is not calling himself a Marxist, then who has given the term Marxism? And that is why you must understand that when you think about Marxism, it is a post-death phenomena of Marx. Okay, it is post-death of Karl Marx that Marxism develops. And majorly, it was the result of the structure programs, you can call it, that the way they tried to provide a structural framework to ideas of Marx. So there were some people who thought about providing a structural framework to ideas of Marx after his death, and during his death also this process was going on, and this structural framework later came to be known by the name of Marxism. And the best person who has done this is, number one, you have this person called Mr. Friedrich Engels. Then you have people like Georgy Plekhanov, right? Even for some matter, Trotsky as well, they have also thought about it. So it was the friends of Karl Marx who tried to provide a structural framework to ideas of Marx, which later developed into Marxism. And when you think about Karl Marx, he always said that I am actually providing a framework known as scientific socialism. All right. What is he providing? Scientific socialism. We can also call it the Marxism of Karl Marx. है ना, हम इसको कैसे पढ़ सकते हैं? Marxism of Karl Marx. So this is what he is thinking about, that my ideology is actually scientific socialism. I am not like the utopian socialist. And that is why whenever we are thinking about Marxism, we have to keep in mind how Marx is challenging the utopian socialist idea, or any kind of socialist idea which was present when he was writing. Now see, when you think about Mr. Marx now, what you have to understand, number one, he had a middle class background. है ना, पहला चीज क्या समझना है आपको? He had a middle class background. The second thing which you have to understand is that he was well read in philosophy. I don't know whether you are aware about or not, he has a PhD. ठीक है, Marx had a PhD, by the way. He was well read in the philosophy. Third thing about to understand about Marx is that he was a firm believer of this thing called praxis, which Professor Randhir Singh in India also used to say, that your theory and practice must go together. He believed in praxis, which means that you have theory plus practice going together. And then, since he believed in practice, he was actively involved in the movement of workers all throughout his life. He also faced, in that sense, exile. Right? So you can understand that this person's idea was so much powerful that even the regime considered his ideas as potentially harmful for the status quo. So we are talking about a person who is actually thinking in a different manner. Now when we go into the context of Marx, of course, the industrial capitalism has created a lot of misery for the workers. He is observing this, that industrial capitalism has created a situation of misery for workers. And he is reflecting on that. So, number one, there are two things which Marx is doing. First, he is reflecting on why the situation is like this. All right, what are the grounds for it? Why the situation is like this, that there is misery for the workers, right? This is the first thing which he is doing in his larger conceptual world. Second is, he is also reflecting on the alternatives proposed by many people. All right, he is thinking about the alternative proposed by, let's say, many ideological vantage points or many ideologies, right? So he's reflecting on what the utopian socialists have to offer. All right, the first thing is he's reflecting on what the utopian socialists have to offer. He's also reflecting on what the liberalism has to offer, what conservatism has to offer, and he's equally concerned about what's at that point of time the emerging anarchist element has to offer. So number one, he's analyzing the contemporary reality and he's analyzing the multiple alternatives present to it. So if you have to understand it in some other manner, what is he doing? He is thinking about, number one, why capitalism operates in the manner we are seeing it in operation. है ना? Why capitalism is like this. And then why alternatives are like this. Isn't it? Plus, he is also thinking why the utopian socialists are not great, why the liberals are not great, and why the conservatives are not great. The basic fundamental premise of liberalism is that whatever liberalism proposes, you know, think about the ideas of liberalism. Let's get back to the revision framework. Number one, centered on individual, yes or no? Individual's freedom, yes. Juridical equality, equality before the law, etc. Isn't it? Equality of opportunity, yes or no? Limited government, right? Free market, etc., etc. Isn't it? This is what they are proposing. Conservatives are going back to authority. We need to have authority. They are thinking about tradition. We need to have more and more influence of tradition. The organic nature of society. We need to have some kind of organic nature elements present. The idea of paternalism, that there needs to be more and more paternalism. And of course, we need a proper state, right? This is your conservatism. And when it comes to utopian socialist, what are they proposing? They are saying, yes, community is important. We need cooperation. The entire transformation must be based on peaceful means. And through this, we can establish a socialist society, isn't it? Now, Marx's argument is very fundamental here. Marx is arguing this idea of individual itself is a product of history. Right? पहला चीज वो क्या बोलता है? This idea of individual is a product of history, which means that the so-called idea of individuated individual, this is how Marx think about. Individuated individual is actually a product of structural transformations in the society. Okay, that is why it is a product of history. It's a product of transformations in the society. Transformations that have happened over a longer period of time. A transformation in an epoch has created this idea. So his fundamental problem with liberalism is that the place from where you start, the place that is the beginning point of your analysis itself has a history. And if you are not understanding that history and building your philosophy, it means your philosophy is standing on a very shaky grounds. Got my point? I mean the point of Karl Marx here. Second is, what is this idea of freedom here? This freedom is of individual, but this individual himself has a history. So he's saying you need to ask a question, what is not freedom? Because then only you will understand what is the limited nature of idea of freedom propounded by the liberal philosophy. Then his argument is, if you are not thinking about substantive idea of freedom, if you are not thinking about the substantive idea of freedom, it means that your idea of juridical equality and equality of opportunity is actually a farce. Because it is only coming from the perspective of liberal belief, right? Then his argument is, what is the idea of this limited government? Again, to sustain the order of liberalism. And the moment you bring in the question or you try to question liberalism, the same limited government has the authority to use, in Marx, not in Marxist terms, but to use the Weberian phrase here, has the authority of monopoly of violence, which means that the idea of limited government is only for this individual, isn't it? The so-called middle classes. And the moment we think about opposing this so-called regime of the limited government, it has expansive authority to use monopoly of violence over us. This is the, I mean, I'm not criticizing liberalism here. I'm trying to provide you a view the way Marx is engaging. Then you think about the free market, again, it is to sustain the order of liberalism. In other words, free market is an ideology that is produced by liberalism to provide a basis to the regime of private property. Nothing else. You're only doing this. When it comes to this thing called conservatism, Marx's argument is here, very simple. All of this is to sustain an order in which the landed classes, majorly, in which the landed classes have more or equal say. All of this is to sustain an order in which the so-called landed classes or the remnants of the feudal classes can equally have access to power, and it is to sustain an order in which there is less scope for radical transformation. This is how Marx is actually challenging whatever which was offered before. And when it comes to utopian socialist, their idea of community, their idea of cooperation, Marx is happy with these points. But when they think about transformation of society through peaceful means, and the transformation of society through peaceful leading to a utopian socialist community, Marx says that this idea is actually not based on scientific understanding of history, right? It is not based on scientific understanding of history, and that is why this idea is unable to develop a thought which must be based on the laws of social and historical development. If you read Manifesto of the Communist Party, in this Marx has given a careful thought to the so-called utopian socialists. He is thinking about them. Not only this, he is also critiquing the socialists like Proudhon. Proudhon, property is theft. He's saying whatever idea you are proposing is actually not based on the laws of social and historical development. And my socialism is actually based on the scientific laws of social and historical development. That is why my idea is what idea? Scientific socialism. Is this clear? This much thought, right? Therefore, in order to understand Marxism, it is always better to first understand the Marxism of Karl Marx, on which I want to spend the most amount of time because your questions are going to come from here majorly. Apart from this, you can also focus on what Lenin and Stalin had to offer. Often Stalin's idea are known as orthodox communism. Alright, orthodox communism. And here we find socialism, the idea of democratic centralism, which later on developed into orthodox communism by Stalin. And then apart from this, you can have a third phase which is known as modern Marxism. And this term called modern Marxism includes many subdivisions, like you can get the idea of neo-Marxism. You can also bring in the so-called underdevelopment school, okay, dependency theory. You can also have some connection with here post-Marxism, which perhaps is not that important as far as the larger questions are concerned, you can also have this just from the 100 words format or 150 words format. The most important thing to understand carefully is Marxism of Karl Marx. Is this much clear? Huh? Okay? You want to write something of this? लिखवा दूं ये थोड़ा सा, है ना? लिख लोगे खुद से? No, you want me to dictate? Okay. Give a heading Marxism. समझे ना एक के बाद एक कैसे मार्क्स इज चैलेंजिंग एवरीथिंग, राइट? सो गिव अ हेडिंग मार्क्सिज्म. बोर्ड के लिए आप छोड़िए कम से कम 2 पेज तो छोड़ो, क्योंकि अभी मैं आपको मार्क्सिज्म का कार्ल मार्क्स का जब कराऊंगा ना तो उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, वो मुझे सारा आज ही कराना है. आई वॉन्ट टू फिनिश कार्ल मार्क्स का मार्क्सिज्म टुडे बिकॉज रेस्ट इज वेरी इजी टू डू. सो just write, give the heading Marxism and write like this. Marxism as an ideology, Marxism as an ideology emerged after the death of Karl Marx. Emerged after the death of Karl Marx, when his long collaborators tried to develop Marx ideas into a structural codified system of thought. Full stop. During the life of Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels aimed to provide structure to his philosophy. Full stop. However, post his death, Engels, Plekhanov, 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 Kautsky gradually developed Marxism as an ideology. Full stop. Right, next point. In the 20th century, Lenin and Stalin established a new variant of Marxism. Known as Leninism and Orthodox Communism respectively. Full stop. Moreover, Marxists like Antonio Gramsci were trying to rethink on some of the core conceptions of Marxism, like ideology and hegemony. Full stop. Right, next point. The later half of 20th century witnessed the rise of modern Marxism in form of neo-Marxism. modern Marxism in form of neo-Marxism, and interesting work on nature of the state, and interesting work on nature of the state, comma, contradictions in the society, comma, the capitalist system, etc., etc. These new variants were influenced by scholars like Althusser, Althusser, कॉमा, पोलांसा, ये सब मैंने आपको पहले पढ़ाया है ना स्टेट वाले में, याद है? Althusser, कॉमा, पोलांसा, कॉमा, जॉर्ज लुकास, LUKACS, ऐसे कर लो, जॉर्ज लुकास, कॉमा, एडोर्नो, ADORNO, एडोर्नो, एक्सेट्रा, फुल स्टॉप। इसी में लिखो contemporarily terminologies like post-Marxism, are used as well, to reflect further variations in this ideological framework, full stop. Now write Marxism of Karl Marx. Give a heading, Marxism of Karl Marx. Write like a paragraph. Start writing like a paragraph. Karl Marx was writing in context of misery faced by the working classes because of industrial capitalism, full stop. His thoughts are a vehement critique of capitalism and liberalism, which highlights the limitations present in the liberal thought, as well as conservatism, full stop. Right, next paragraph. Liberalism stood for individualism, comma, freedom of the individual, comma, juridical equality and equality of opportunity, comma, limited government and free market, full stop. Marx criticized the fundamental beginning point of liberalism. Marx criticized the fundamental beginning point of liberalism by arguing that the individuated individual was in itself a product of history, and not the beginning point of history, full stop. The propositions for equality were a farce, F-A-R-C-E. The propositions for equality were a farce because they aimed to hide the exploitation faced by the dispossessed persons. Full stop. Even though the liberals advocated limited state, a limited state, it possessed domination and capacity to enforce violence in situation of challenges to capitalist order, and support to free market was a mechanism to sustain the regime of private property, full stop. Moreover, there was no scientific explanation in the liberal ideology. लिखा? अब लिखो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. Similarly, conservatism was an ideology aimed to sustain the order of the landed classes. Full stop. Next point, give a subheading, Marx and utopian socialist, or ऐसे लिखो Marx and utopian socialist. Right, the first point, utopian socialism has a long tradition in political thought. Going back to writings of Plato, Thomas More, Thomas More, who mentioned about communism of wives and property, and every man's right to everything, respectively. Full stop. The utopian socialism, the utopian socialism included thoughts on, the utopian socialism included thoughts on freedom, freedom, comma, establishment of new society, establishment of new society, comma, satire, satire, comma, creation of community farms, creation of community farms, comma, social democratic version of progress, social democratic version of progress, as well as experimental colonies, as well as experimental colonies, full stop. Next point. However, Marx criticized utopian socialists. However, Marx criticized utopian socialists and despite the similarities between some of the goals, despite the similarities between some of the goals, there are essential differences between the two ideologies. There are essential differences between the two ideologies. Full stop. The utopian socialists are diverse. The utopian socialists are diverse, but they can be described as theorists, but they can be described as theorists who combined a rationalist faith in science, who combined a rationalist faith in science and community with a radical critique, of individualism, for arguing that the human society ought to be radically reorganized to promote social harmony, ought to be radically reorganized to promote social harmony. Next point. The utopians did not emphasize on political activities, full stop. Next point. They focused on devising plans and programs. They focused on devising plans and programs to make society more cooperative, comma, production more efficient, and distribution more fair, Next point. They proposed distribution more fair. Next point. They proposed transformative changes. like public ownership of land, like public ownership of land, comma, rationalization of industry, comma, end of class distinctions, end of class distinctions, comma, redesigning of cities and towns, redesigning of cities and towns, etc., etc. All right. Next point, theoretically, they proposed a humanist moral theory. Theoretically, they proposed a humanist moral theory and wanted to satisfy the fixed needs of humans. Full stop. Next point. It is important to note that despite their utopian character, many of the utopian socialists believed that their proposals were grounded on a scientific analysis of human nature. Their proposals were grounded on a scientific analysis of human nature. Full stop. Their vision of ideal society, was to create small scale socialist communities, which were both desirable and possible, and hence the experiment for the vision reflected their testing character as well. मतलब विजन सोशलिज्म का है तो उसको ऐसे हम क्रिएट कर देंगे, है ना. राइट. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. डिस्पाइट supporting many of the utopian ideas, Marx criticized the utopian socialists. As a political project, to develop a society, and to guide political reform. Next point. Essentially, Marx argued that the belief of utopian socialists in peaceful transition reflected their lack of understanding of history, comma, absence of presence of laws of scientific scientific development of society, and hence a lack of focus, on the essential requirement of class question dash class struggle dash class exploitation dash proletarian revolution all right. So this is in short, because utopian socialism itself sometimes taken as a topic, but इतना आपको मैंने लिखवा दिया, ये आपके काम के लिए काफी है. रेस्ट इसके ऊपर कुछ चीजें मैं आपको दे सकता हूं ना, सोचा इसी में करवा ही देता हूं. किसी यू कैन सी देयर इज अ सिमिलैरिटी बिटवीन मार्क्सिज्म एंड यूटोपियन सोशलिज्म, बट लास्ट पॉइंट आपको क्या बता रहा है, देयर इज अ फंडामेंटल डिफरेंस. नाउ लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. ओके, तो ये भी मैंने करवा दिया, इसीलिए मैं थोड़ा सा तुम लोग की क्लास को गति भी तो देनी है. हिंदी से भी पीछे चल रहे हो तुम लोग, मुझे बराबर लेके आना है. लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. मार्क्सिज्म ऑफ मिस्टर कार्ल मार्क्स, है ना. तो ये सोचो, दिस इज द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ कार्ल मार्क्स. ओके, सो द फर्स्ट थिंग टू बिगिन अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट मार्क्स हैज टू ऑफर is what is known as the idea of historical materialism. सबसे पहले क्या पकड़ना होता है वो कॉन्सेप्ट, historical materialism, है ना. It is also known by some other name. The other name is known as the scientific explanation of history. ठीक है, कैसे समझेंगे, scientific explanation of history. That how the human society has developed, all right. And Marx says that if you want to understand the way society has developed, then you have to focus on the material things, है ना. materialism पे आपको जाना पड़ेगा, तब आपको ये समझ में आएगा. Now the problem is कि इसमें लोग क्या बोलते हैं, they start with the idea कि मार्क्स ने इसमें stages बताए हैं, those stages will gradually develop, etc etc. But the problem is कि जब आप PSI और ऑप्शनल पढ़ रहे हो, then you cannot start with this thing कि okay ये सब होता है एक्सेट्रा, है ना. सो लेट्स इमेजिन, लेट्स गो बैक एंड थिंक अबाउट सम अदर पीपल जो मार्क्स से पहले लिख रहे हैं, है ना. सो फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव इन दिस माइंड दिस गाय नेम हीगल. ठीक है, किसका दिमाग में आता है, हीगल, है ना. इफ यू थिंक अबाउट हीगल इज ही प्रोवाइडिंग अ मटेरियलिस्ट कंसेप्शन ऑफ हिस्ट्री और इज ही प्रोवाइडिंग अ आइडियलिस्ट कंसेप्शन ऑफ हिस्ट्री. आइडियलिस्ट, है ना. तो हीगल के आइडिया को हम लोग किससे जोड़ देते हैं, आइडियलिज्म से, इजंट इट. हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, आइडियलिज्म को हीगल से जोड़ के देखते हैं. सो देयर इज मोर फोकस एंड एम्फेसिस ऑन ideas, isn't it? Suppose I think about this person named Plato. Is Plato thinking about materialism or he is also focusing on ideas and forms? Ideas and forms, right? So basically you are saying that their major idea is that the more a human changes the thinking process or ideas, it leads to changes in the society. ये तो कह रहे हैं ना. Like think about Hegel's ideas. So अगर आप मान लीजिए if there is a change in ideas, है ना, it leads to change in society, right? And this is how you can understand the development of society. All right, हम लोग इस तरीके से इसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, है ना. But tell about me, what is it which is necessary for a human to live? है ना. मार्क्स बोलता है first of all think about how these persons actually live. ये जीते कैसे हैं, है ना. think about life for instance. Is life something that can actually develop with ideas? What do you need essentially for life? Materials चाहिए तुमको. Seriously, do you think like that? Suppose you want to live, है ना, आपको जीना है, living individuals. What is it that is most essential for you to do? Food? चलो, I will take your examples. You are saying, sir, food. All right. आपके पास आ गया फूड, तुम्हारे सामने पिज्जा का प्लेट पड़ा है, क्या करोगे उसका? यू विल ईट। व्हाट विल हैपन विद दैट? हाउ कम यू लिव ऑन बाय ईटिंग पिज्जा? What is happening there when you're eating a pizza or when you're drinking a glass of water, when you're hunting something, when you're cooking something? What is it that you are doing that you are saying, okay, food से ही मेरा जिंदा होना शुरू होता है? But seriously, think about it. अगर मैं यहाँ पे बोल दूँ, what about breathing? है? Food से पहले, so for example, you're saying, sir, for me, eating is necessary. है ना? Eating is necessary to survive. टू लिव, इजंट इट? अगर मुझे सरवाइव करना हो तो मुझे सबसे पहले क्या करना होगा? खाना होगा, है ना? व्हाट इफ आई से, डियर, व्हाट अबाउट ब्रीदिंग? इसके बिना तुम जी सकते हो? इज इट इवन पॉसिबल फॉर यू टू ईट फूड इफ यू आर अनएबल टू ब्रीथ? है, आई गिव यू अ प्लेट ऑफ पिज्जा ऑन द मून विदाउट एनी ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर और मास्क फॉर यू, व्हाट विल यू डू देन? जी लोगे विदाउट दैट सूट? नहीं जी सकते ना. So you need atmosphere as well, but you need a breathing, है ना? Now tell me, what is happening when you are breathing? What is it that is going on? Because Marx actually begins like this. He's a very profound scholar. There is no doubt about it. So when you are breathing, what is happening here? All right. So you are saying, sir, there is a process called respiration. यही बोलते हैं इसको, हैं साइंस में? So you are saying that, sir, when I breathe in my body, oxygen goes in and CO2 comes out. What is happening here when oxygen is getting in and CO2 is coming out? What is this process happening? क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? हो क्या रहा है ये? Respiration क्या है? What is going on here? Now the problem why you are unable to, answer the question is that you have never thought like Karl Marx. You are only thinking from the liberal mode of thought. है ना? Just think, go back to your, I think it is 6th class knowledge. 6th class, 7th class, 5th class. Which class knowledge? I think 4th, 5th class. Go back to your 4th, 5th class. Tell me what actually happens in the respiration process. ये ऑक्सीजन के अंदर जाने से, CO2 के बाहर आने से होता क्या है? You get energy? All right, चलो ठीक है. So you are saying, sir, this is giving me energy. है ना? Now suppose you have to define this in terms of conceptual terms. What will you say? Marx says, his argument is like this, that basically you are actually consuming oxygen. है ना? अगर इसको तुम इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे सोचो तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? You are consuming oxygen and you are producing energy. हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? You are consuming something and you are producing something. जब तक ऑक्सीजन पूरा एनर्जी में ट्रांसफॉर्म ना हो जाए तब तक कंज्यूमिंग का प्रोसेस खत्म नहीं होता. विच मीन्स दैट फॉर योर लाइफ, है ना, वेरी मिनिमम थिंग फॉर ब्रीदिंग, इनिशियली यू नीड टू हैव दिस थिंग कॉल्ड प्रोडक्शन. ये चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? दैट विदाउट प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस यू कैन नॉट इवन लिव. है, बताओ. सो अगर मान लीजिए आपसे मैं कहूं दैट इज इट आइडियाज that actually make you live, or is it the act of production which actually makes you live? आंसर क्या सही होगा? है ना? Similarly, if you think about food, food में क्या हो रहा है? You are eating the food, which means you are consuming, yes or no? And then you are getting this energy, which means you are producing. तो even eating का जो ये activity है, it's another name for another kind of production, yes or no? है ना? Even something more, Marx is actually giving us this insight as well. Tell me, how do you even get born? तुम्हारा पैदा तुम कैसे होते हो? Even that is something which requires an act of production, है ना? There is someone else, two people who are coming together and then they are giving birth to you, right? इसलिए क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? उस प्रोसेस को साइंस में क्या पढ़ाते हैं जब बच्चे होते हैं? रिप्रोडक्शन, है ना? ध्यान से देखना, द टर्म इज ऑलरेडी देयर. जब आप बच्चे पैदा होने के बारे में पढ़ते हैं तो उसको साइंस में क्या कहा जाता है? रिप्रोडक्शन. सो अगेन यहां पे क्या टर्म है? प्रोडक्शन, राइट? एंड देन जस्ट थिंक केयरफुली, इवन योर रिप्रोडक्शन रिक्वायर्स एटलीस्ट हाउ मेनी पीपल? 2 ह्यूमंस इसमें चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? Which means that even your production is not a result of solitary activity. You need someone to actually help, है ना, some other person to give birth to you. अगर दो लोग साथ ना आए तो हम लोग भी पैदा नहीं हो सकते. So Marx says that instead of thinking about changes in ideas as the beginning point, you get back to something which is actually the beginning, and that is the process of प्रोडक्शन. अगर आप प्रोडक्शन पे नहीं जा रहे हैं तो आप क्या सोच रहे हैं? यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट दी सुपरफिशियल रेजिम्स, है ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट एंटायर टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज्ड टू बी लाइक. अगर मार्क्स से पहले का थिंकिंग देखोगे तो आपको मिलता है आर्ग्यूमेंट समथिंग लाइक दिस: देयर इज आइडियाज एंड इसमें जो चेंज हो रहा है इट इज लीडिंग टू चेंज इन सोसाइटी. ठीक है. So whether it is production, culture, है ना, religion, है ना, whether it is polity, law, economy, यहाँ पे change होता है और ये कहाँ करता है? उधर change कर देता है. In the economy, in the society, in the polity. Marx says upward down कर दो इसको. The change happens in the economy basically. ठीक है. And then यहाँ से बाकी जगह पे in other spheres of life this change takes place. Now the question is, why is Marx considering economy as the basis? जहां पे change होता है तो बाकी जगह change आता है ना. That's another question. Now suppose you have to think about this question. So basically you get back to initial stages of life, है ना. एकदम starting में जाओ. Think about it. Think about life when humans were hunter gatherers. ऐसा आप लोगों ने हिस्ट्री में तो पढ़ा ही होगा. Initially humans were hunter gatherers. तो हम लोग क्या करते थे जब हम लोग हंटर गैदरर्स थे? व्हाट डू वी यूज्ड टू डू? सो नंबर 1, यू यूज्ड टू हंट. यस और नो? हंटिंग हो रहा है, उसके बाद क्या करोगे? सीधा खा जाओगे? पकाओगे नहीं उसको? कच्चा खा लेते थे हम लोग. आर यू श्योर? सीधा हर बार ऐसे ही होता था? या एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम हंटर गैदरर सोसाइटी में क्या हम लोग गिनते नहीं है दैट वी हैव इन्वेंटेड फायर? हंटर गैदरर में तो हो चुका है ना. सो चलो ठीक है, यू आर हंटिंग एंड देन यू आर ईटिंग. ठीक है. एंड देन यू आर स्लीपिंग. है, ईट स्लीप हंट रिपीट, ये तुम्हारा लॉजिक चल रहा है, राइट? ईट स्लीप हंट रिपीट, है ना. चलो, ईट स्लीप हंट रिपीट. ठीक है, ये तुम्हारा जो है आइडिया यहाँ पे चल रहा है ना. Now tell me, जब तुम सो रहे हो, how come you are thinking that you are secure? गुफा में सो रहे हो? Are you sure? तुम्हें कैसे पता है कि रात में you are not going to become the food of some other animal? कम्युनिटी तो तुमने बोला ही नहीं. तुम तो बोले खाते थे, पकाते थे, खा के सो जाते थे. If you are hunting, how are you hunting? Alone? यू आर मोगली. टार्जन हो तुम क्या अकेले जाके हंट कर लोगे? थिंक अबाउट इट. हंटिंग कभी कभी शिकार किया तुम लोगों ने? तभी तुम लोग ऐसे बातें करते हो. हमने किया है. ठीक है, आप शिकार पे जाइए कभी, जीवन में मौका मिले तो जरूर जाइएगा. व्हेन यू आर आउट देयर हंटिंग ना, यू नेवर गो अलोन. स्पेशली इफ यू आर लाइक प्रॉपर हंटिंग के बारे में आप उसको एकदम करने गए कि हंट करना है. You never go alone because an other animal is considering you as its prey. चाहे तुम इतने लंबे चौड़े ही क्यों ना हो, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So you always go with someone. There are at least 2 or 3 people, 4 people, है ना, वो जाते हैं and then you actually have a proper plan to hunt something. ठीक है. So even hunting requires cooperative effort. ठीक है. Same goes for eating and sleeping में who is protecting you? Then definitely there is someone ना, जो कायदे से तुम जब सो रहे हो तो वो रखवाली कर रहा है, हैं? फिर वो जब सोएगा तो तुम रखवाली करोगे. So it can understand that way back before we started developing ideas, we were actually producing in a community. Yes or no? Or let's say if not community, we were actually producing together. ऐसा ही हो रहा है ना, हम लोग एक साथ जो है किसी काम को कर रहे हैं. एंड देन मार्क्स सेज दैट एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम देयर वर लॉट ऑफ स्पॉन्टेनियस डिविजन ऑफ लेबर हैपनिंग इन द सोसाइटी. इस टाइम पे क्या हो रहा है? देयर इज स्पॉन्टेनियस डिविजन ऑफ लेबर हैपनिंग इन अ सोसाइटी. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पीपल हु आर फिजिकली फिट, ऐसे तमाम लोग जो फिजिकली फिट होंगे, ये फिजिकली फिट इंसान को आप कैसी नौकरी दे दोगे? जो फिजिकली बहुत ही लंबा चौड़ा हो, है ना, उसे हंटिंग का दे दोगे? सीरियसली, हंटिंग के लिए दिमाग भी चाहिए होता है। फिजिकली फिट इंसान विल एक्चुअली बी मोर अबाउट आइडिया ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन, है ना। जैसे आप लोगों ने ना, आपका मुझे समझ में आ गया, योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ हिस्ट्री इज वेरी बैड। हैव यू एवर रेड अबाउट समथिंग कॉल्ड आर्मी? है ना, आज के टाइम पे यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट दिस अग्निवीर एंड ऑल ना। डू यू नो दैट देयर यूज्ड टू बी अ टाइम व्हेन पीपल हु आर फार्मर्स एंड पीजेंट्स, ठीक है, कुछ तो वो जिनका पेट थोड़ा सा निकला हो, मतलब थोड़ा सा गोल टाइप बेली हो जिसकी, सेकंड जो लंबे कद काठी वाले होते थे, इवन इट वाज यूजुअली दीज इंडिविजुअल्स दैट यूज्ड टू बिकम पार्ट ऑफ द सो कॉल्ड आर्मी इन अ सेंस मर्सिनरी टाइप। सो बेसिकली फिजिकली फिट अगर आप होंगे तो प्रोटेक्शन के जोन में जाओगे, एंड देन थोड़ा मेंटली दिमाग तेज हुआ तो इससे जुड़ के आप कहाँ चले जाएंगे? हंटिंग में चले जाएंगे। Then Marx says that one of the most important division of labor was actually here the sexual division of labor, ठीक है, sexual division of labor, जिसमें if you think about it, giving birth to a child, है ना, giving birth to a child, ये किसका काम बन गया? विमेन का, है ना। सो मार्क्स इज सेइंग कि थिंक अबाउट इट एंड यू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये जो आइडियाज रहे हैं कि आइडियाज लीड टू चेंज इन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी, ये तो बहुत ही ज्यादा अजीब बात है। इफ इंडिविजुअल्स हु आर मेकिंग हिस्ट्री by changing the world, changing the thought process, the individuals first have to live, है ना। So you have to talk about the real living individuals, and the essential thing which is at the base of the real living individuals is the act of production. And if it is about production of a human, or if it is about production of our life, the individuals need cooperation. So we always produce in a community, we always produce together, right? This is what Marx is talking about. तो आपको किसके बारे में सबसे पहले सोचना है? You have to think about the people who are actually producing in the real life circumstances. So we, in other words, Marx's argument is that we are involved in the process of production as social beings, ठीक है। हम लोग कैसे काम करते हैं प्रोडक्शन में? social beings, and therefore the so-called social being, the way we are producing it actually influences our consciousness, ठीक है। it is not the other way round. ये मत सोचिए कि हमारा consciousness बाद में बदल रहा है. It is actually the production that comes first, and this production is actually influencing our consciousness. So Marx ने क्या किया? He twisted it upside down. इसको एकदम उल्टा यहां पे कर दिया जो हेगल सोच रहा है. Now इसके अंदर और भी चीजें आती हैं. I will get that to it in a while. The historical materialism. But there is one more idea which Marx talks about, is the idea of dialectical change. ठीक है, ये एक और आइडिया है, dialectical change, and he is taking dialectical idea from Hegel. ठीक है, ये किससे ले रहे हैं? Hegel से ले रहे हैं, but he has twisted it upside down. ठीक है, जो हेगल ने बोला इसको एकदम उल्टा इन्होंने कर दिया. Now tell me, how many of you understand the idea of dialectics? ये तुम लोगों को पता है, मैंने तुम लोगों को स्टेट की क्लास में इसको पढ़ाया भी है. Do people even remember what is dialectics? What is it? What is dialectics? Change in what? So there is a thesis, there is an antithesis, and there is a synthesis. Is this what you're saying? Eh? But basically इसका meaning क्या हुआ? What does it mean? Okay, let me ask another question. What is the difference between dialectics and logic? The logos, as they say. है ना? What is the difference between dialectic and logic? तुम लोग यार बहुत यूपीएससी की तैयारी कर रहे हो, तुम लोग छोटे छोटे बच्चे नहीं हो. So dialectics also provides reasons. Antithesis, thesis, synthesis. That's the reason. What is the fundamental difference between logic and dialectics? No idea here? You people are graduate, na? How many of you have science background? No? You have? What is logic? स्कूल टाइम पे पूछ रहा हूं. नो? ओके. देखो, यही गड़बड़ करोगे तुम लोग, वहां एग्जाम देने जाओगे. यू नीड टू लेवल अप. लेग अप करो अपने आप को. सी, व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट लॉजिक ना, देर इज ऑलवेज द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ एन एक्सप्लेनेशन लाइक दिस और दैट. या तो ये होगा या वो होगा. कॉमन सेंस है भाई, लॉजिक लगा. ऐसे बोलते हैं कि नहीं बोलते हैं, राइट? बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू डायलेक्टिक्स, बोथ द पॉसिबिलिटीज आर इक्वली प्रेजेंट. And that is why the core thing which is present in the center of dialectics is known as the idea of unity of opposites. ठीक है, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Unity of opposites, which means कि whatever that is going to oppose something else, it is present in the larger unified framework. ठीक है, ऑपोजिट चीज बाहर नहीं हो सकती. ऑपोजिशन कहां है? अंदर ही है. कंट्राडिक्शन इज इनहेरेंट. ये आइडिया है. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सपोज देयर इज अ थिंग कॉल्ड एक्स एंड देयर इज अ थिंग कॉल्ड वाई, एंड एक्स एंड वाई आर इन अ रिलेशन ऑफ ऑपोजिशन टू ईच अदर. तो ये हमेशा एक साथ ही होंगे, है ना? इसी की वजह से क्या होगा, इनके बीच का जो ऑपोजिशन है वो बाद में जाके क्या क्रिएट करेगा? Z क्रिएट करेगा. So let me just give you a very simple explanation for this. Like suppose, think about this board. This board is a unified whole. Yes or no? ये board एक unified whole है. Now there is a force called friction. Friction नाम की force होता है ना? Now the moment I start putting my force on the board, तो board मुझे resist कर रहा है. So my force of marker is X. The resistance by the board is, let's say, R, and it is resulting in the formation of this line called green line, है ना? इसी तरह से think like this. If I switch it on, तो ये क्या चल जाता है? पंखा या लाइट तुम्हारा चल जाता है. बट क्या ये सामने इसके ऑपोजिट नहीं होता है? Have you not seen this? बाइक स्टार्ट कैसे होती है? तुम कहते हो चाबी डालते स्टार्ट हो जाती है. इंजन में होता क्या है? What leads to ignition in the engine? कि वो चल पड़ता है. Spark plug तो होता है, but what is this spark thing? Is it opposite or is it, what is it? What the hell are you doing? Have you not even studied how a bike operates? Spark करता क्या है? What happens there? Isn't this negative and positive coming together? तब जाकर आपको घुन वो स्टार्ट होती है ना. So if you think about dialectics says the opposite elements are always present in a together whole. तुम लोग सही में ऐसा लग रहा है बच्चों को पढ़ाना पड़ रहा है. 12वीं क्लास के नहीं, 5वीं 6ठी क्लास के जो बच्चे होते हैं ना, उनको समझाना पड़ेगा. देखो, तुमने बाइक कभी देखा है? कभी ट्यूबलाइट ऑन होते हुए देखा है? Why do you have a fuse in the house? कि जब ये ऑपोजिट नेगेटिव का चीजें ज्यादा बिगड़ जाए तो घर की बत्ती न जले, फ्यूज उड़ जाए, क्या आप दूसरा फ्यूज लाके उस पर लगा दें, है ना? So if you think carefully, you will find dialectics happening all around you. See, point is क्या है? मान लो यूपीएससी आपसे सवाल पूछे, why you should believe in dialectics, तो आपका आंसर सही आना चाहिए ना, कि भाई इसका थियोरेटिकल आपको आर्ग्यूमेंट पता होना चाहिए कि दिस इज हाउ इट हैपेंस. सो इट इज अबाउट यूनिटी ऑफ ऑपोजिट्स, है ना? अब हेगल बोलता था कि आइडियाज में चीजें बदलती हैं. सो ही इज सेइंग देयर इज अ लॉर्डशिप एंड देयर इज अ बॉन्डेज. अब इनके आइडियाज में देयर इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट गोइंग ऑन. इसकी वजह से नया वर्ल्ड स्पिरिट की तरफ हम लोग बढ़ रहे हैं. न्यू सोसाइटी इज एमर्जिंग. एंड मार्क्स सेज इन ऑर्डर टू थिंक फर्स्ट, सोचने के लिए उसका जिंदा रहना जरूरी है. जिंदा रहने के लिए प्रोडक्शन करना जरूरी है. प्रोडक्शन वो सोशली करता है. That determines his consciousness. So if you want to think about dialectical change, you should not find this change in the ideas. You need to find dialectics in the process of production. है ना? आपको इसको कहां खोजना है? In the process of production. And therefore Marx's argument is that instead of having the philosophy of dialectical idealism, we need to have a philosophy of dialectical materialism. ठीक है? आपको यहां पे क्या लाना होगा? Dialectical materialism, which means number one, in the so-called productive sphere of the society or the production, आपको यहां पर क्या खोजना होगा? Unity of opposites, है ना? ये खोजना होगा. Now let's get back to this situation. The situation of, in Marx's term, प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटी, है ना, सबसे पहले सोसाइटी कौन सी हमारी, प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटी है. नाउ इन दिस प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटी देयर नीड्स टू बी अ प्रोसेस कॉल्ड डायलेक्टिक्स, होना चाहिए, तभी तो न्यू सोसाइटी आएगी. यस और नो? एंड वी आर अवेयर दैट आफ्टर द प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटी द न्यू सोसाइटी विच डेवलप्ड वॉज अ स्लेव सोसाइटी. ये हुआ था कि नहीं हुआ था, है ना? So now if I have to ask you a question, why from primitive society, what happened that led to development of slave society? जब यहाँ पे सब इतना अच्छा चल ही रहा था, तो ऐसा क्या बदल गया कि सोसाइटी में क्या आ गया, स्लेवरी आ गया. What is it? What would have happened? जब यहाँ पे आपका चल ही रहा था, we were producing together, there was a division of labor happening, सब कुछ काम सही चल रहा है, men are working as social beings, it is determining their consciousness. Then what happened that from primitive society we developed into a society that believes in slavery? Idea of priority कहां से आ गई? Settled agriculture doesn't mean that you need to have slavery. Settle हुए तो क्या हो गया? तो उससे स्लेव कैसे आ गए? क्यों हमने चुन लिया होगा? Why we settled? What just happened here? Protection is already here. What led to this so-called internal conflict? साथ तो आ गए हम लोग, रहने लग गए, मान लो settled हो गया. But what happened here that led to these rapid developments? Okay, I will give you a clue. Something which exists till today. Something connected with the distinction between labor which exists till today. रोज तुम लोग इसी चीज पे लड़ते हो, भिड़ते हो, रोज तुम लोग इस चीज को जीते हो. It's existing even today. No, stop being stupid. Anyways, I'll tell you. Now see what is happening here. Despite this such a beauty, there is a problem in the primitive society. He names it as primitive communism. ठीक है, ये क्या नाम देता है सोसाइटी को? Primitive communism. There is a problem of natural scarcity. है ना? Despite the abundance of things in nature, when it comes to human existence, there is a problem of scarcity. है ना? ये आपको दिखेगा. And then, since man is a producing being, man is always thinking to develop the techniques of production. है ना? Like, if somebody has to ask me, which is the most important technical development in society, I will say the wheel. पहिया नहीं आया होता तो सोचो हम लोग कितना पीछे खड़े होते आज भी. Similarly, think about it, the idea of fire. फायर हम प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं, चाहे वो पत्थर के घर्षण से ही क्यों ना हुआ हो, है ना, जैसे भी हुआ हो. When you started producing fire, you developed lot of things. Huh? So what is happening here is that Marx is saying that if you think about it carefully, there are different ways in which we produce. वो बेस और सुपरस्ट्रक्चर याद है ना, वो वाला आर्ग्यूमेंट ये यहाँ पे लेके आ चुके हैं. I don't want to invest more time in that because I have already discussed it. But here Marx says that gradually a new idea of division of labor is emerging in the base of the society. And what is this new idea of division of labor? The division between mental and physical labor. ठीक है, ये अभी तक नहीं आया था, ये ऑलरेडी यहां पे अभी नहीं आया है, ये emerge करता है in the realm of production. And the people who say that we are doing mental labor, they argue that we need to have more share. है ना, हमारे पास ज्यादा शेयर होना चाहिए. And the people who are doing physical labor, their labor is not equivalent to the mental labor. तो उनके पास कम शेयर होना चाहिए. Interestingly, if you go out, this is the main argument why many say that a rickshaw puller's salary is going to be very less than the person who is actually employing a rickshaw puller, जो उसको अपना रिक्शा दे रहा है. the salary of the employee is going to be less than the person who is the employer, जो दिमाग अपना लगा रहा है. The people who are doing physical labor, do they earn the same amount of money in comparison to people who are doing mental labor? So this is idea which is still rampant today. And then Marx says that it is for the first time that we start seeing the idea of private property in one way or the other. कि जो लोग मेंटल लेबर कर रहे हैं उनके पास क्या होना चाहिए? प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी. एंड जो लोग फिजिकल लेबर कर रहे हैं, दे आर अबाउट टू सर्व दीज पीपल हु हैव दिस प्रॉपर्टी. एंड दैट इज व्हाई द नेचुरल स्कार्सिटी ऑफ रिसोर्सेस gradually compelled us to have this kind of division. तो आपका जो पहला कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन इमर्ज कर रहा है, द यूनिटी ऑफ ऑपोजिट्स, वो कहां से निकल के आ रहा है? नंबर वन, यू हैव द इश्यू ऑफ मेंटल लेबर, नेचुरल स्कार्सिटी का लार्जर आइडिया, एंड देन यू हैव अ फिजिकल लेबर. इनके बीच में जब कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन होता है, देन यू डेवलप अ न्यू काइंड ऑफ सोसाइटी विच इज नोन एज द स्लेव सोसाइटी. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली ही सेज, if you look at this society, there are some people who are known as masters, and then there are some people who are known as slaves. Yes or no? Now if you think about the master, number one, he controls the body of the slave. Yes or no? He controls the body of slave. The master has rights. है कि नहीं उसके पास rights? The master has property, है ना? Whereas the function of the slave is to serve the master. ये है कि नहीं है? है ना? Now think about it. Tell me what is the dominant idea at this point of time? Hegel तो बोलेगा आइडिया में चेंज हुआ, but it is actually coming from the economy. What is the dominant idea जो इस टाइम पे prevalent है सोसाइटी में? Imagine that you were born a slave in India, way back in the ancient time period. Have you read or have you seen this thing called Mahabharata? So the day when Bhishma is about to die, what is the thing he is performing? According to legends, he frees his slave. कि आज से मैंने तुम्हें क्या किया? मुक्त किया, तुम आजाद हो. Similarly, if you think about the same textbook, है ना, जो महाभारत को आप देखें, so when he is going there to represent the king of Hastinapur at Kashi Naresh daughter Swayamvar, है ना, and he abducts the three women, Amba, Ambe, Ambalika, he abducts them, ना. So you must have seen कि वो खाली 3 women को उठा के ला रहे हैं. But when you read the text, you find that at that point of time, many slaves also came with Bhishma to Hastinapur. It means क्या है कि body of the slave को master control कर रहा है ना. Now imagine that you are born in a family that is not supposed to rule. आप एक गरीब वाले पैदा हुए हैं, तो आपके दिमाग में कौन सा थॉट डाला जाएगा उस टाइम पे? क्या डाला जाएगा कि नो देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद योर कंडीशन, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट. तो आपको क्या बोला जा रहा था उस टाइम पे? फिलॉसफी क्या रहती थी? Karma, exactly, Anshu, very good. Now see what is the philosophy at the time of slavery, that whatever that is happening with you is actually a result of your previous karma. है ना? इंडिया में क्या बोलेंगे? ये तुम्हारे पुराने कर्मों का नतीजा है कि इस जन्म में तुम क्या पैदा हुए हो? You are born a Shudra. So it means what? That you are actually developing the ideology to sustain the class system. हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? समझ में आई ये बात? नहीं पकड़े? You are actually developing the philosophy of karma to sustain the system of slavery. कि जो लोग slaves हैं उनके दिमाग में क्या आइडिया जाना चाहिए? I am responsible for my misery and not the person who is ruling on me. यही तो आइडिया जाएगा कि मेरे इस फलानी जाति में, इस फलाने वर्ग में पैदा होने का कारण मैं खुद हूं. Because in my previous birth I have committed lot of sins and it is all calculated by some divine authority, and therefore in this birth I was being forced to be born in a particular caste or class. और अगर मैं इस समय अपने कर्मों को पूरा करूं तो in the next birth I will be allotted a better position. तो ये सारा का सारा आइडिया पैदा कहां से कर रहे हैं? इट इज इन द आइडियोलॉजी. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? द सो कॉल्ड आइडियोलॉजी ऑफ कर्मा इज एक्चुअली अनदर मेथड टू सस्टेन अ क्लास सिस्टम. यही ना इसका मतलब हुआ. Similarly, think about, that's why he said religion is opium for the masses. He says कि अगर आप देखेंगे, so religion as an ideology is itself a result of the master race. ये लोग करते हैं, religion को पैदा किया जाता है कि आप कायदे से बता पाएं. Similarly, now you will understand how he criticizes Plato. He had a PhD in philosophy. So he's saying Plato ने किया क्या? Plato gave us the philosophy or theory of form, है ना? And Plato actually thought about the divine order. तो प्लेटो ने क्या किया, इस सिचुएशन को बचाने के लिए डिवाइन अथॉरिटी का आर्ग्यूमेंट लेके आ गए, दैट सम पीपल आर गिवन दिस राइट टू रूल बाय अ डिवाइन अथॉरिटी. उनके ऊपर बाकायदा डिविनिटी है ना. सो आइडिया क्या निकल के आ रहा है, दैट देयर इज डोमिनेंट आइडिया ऑफ डिवाइन अथॉरिटी. इन द इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट देयर इज अ डोमिनेंट आइडियोलॉजी ऑफ कर्मा, है ना. और आपको दिखता है कि दिस आइडियोलॉजी, सो कॉल्ड आइडिया, इज एक्चुअली सस्टेनिंग द प्रोडक्शन रिलेशन बिटवीन मास्टर एंड अ स्लेव, है ना. ये देखा ना. तो अगर मान लीजिए अब आपको इसमें डायलेक्टिक्स खोजना हो, तो डायलेक्टिक्स कहां नजर आएगा, यूनिटी ऑफ ऑपोजिट किसके बीच में हुआ, मास्टर्स ऑफ स्लेव के बीच में. सो इफ मास्टर इज एक्स एंड स्लेव इज वाई, तो इनके बीच में क्या है, अब कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन है ना. और ये जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा अंडर द फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ यूनिटी ऑफ ऑपोजिट्स, दोनों ऑपोजिंग एलिमेंट्स एक साथ हैं एक ही जगह, ये क्या लेके आता है हमारे पास, नेक्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ सोसाइटी लेके आता है, विच इज नोन एज फ्यूडलिज्म, है ना. नाउ थिंक अबाउट फ्यूडलिज्म. फ्यूडलिज्म में देयर इज अ क्लास विच इज नोन एज लॉर्डशिप, यस और नो, एंड देयर इज अ क्लास विच इज नोन एज सर्फ. तो यहां पे अब डायलेक्टिक्स किसके बीच में होगा, लॉर्डशिप इज एक्स, सर्फ इज वाई, यूनिटी ऑफ ऑपोजिट्स. अगेन द कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन इज नॉट आउटसाइड, द कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन इज प्रेजेंट डीप इनसाइड. एंड सी, इन ऑर्डर टू गिव सपोर्ट, इडियोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट टू दिस सिस्टम, वी डेवलप द फिलॉसफी ऑफ बॉन्डेड लेबर. यहां पे हम लोग कौन सी आइडियोलॉजी पैदा कर देते हैं, बॉन्डेड लेबर की, है ना. यहां पे लॉ क्या बन जाता है, दैट द सर्फ इज अटैच्ड टू द लैंड एंड द लैंड बिलोंग्स टू द लॉर्ड, है ना. एंड इफ लैंड इज ट्रांसफर्ड, सो डज द सर्फ गेट्स ट्रांसफर्ड, इजंट इट. ठीक है. इसके बाद मार्क्स बोलते हैं कि इफ यू मूव फॉरवर्ड देन वी गेट वन मोर ट्रांजिशन. एंड फ्यूडलिज्म के बाद हमारे पास कौन सा आता है, वी गेट capitalism. And now see what Marx says, that in order to understand this transition, again you have to go back to the idea of economy. So let me make you all a quick revision. You all know that according to Marx, there is something called base of the society. ठीक है? And there is something called superstructure in the society. The base is actually what? Base refers to the ways or mode of production. यही है ना, way or mode of production. In this you get the tools of production. Production कैसे कर रहे हो? You get the relations of production. You get the so-called, in other words, the forces of production, है ना, और the so-called class question. ये सब इसी में आता है. विद टेक्निकल डेवलपमेंट्स, ये बार बार हो रहा है हर स्टेज में, यहां हो रहा है, यहां हो रहा है, यहां हुआ, अब यहां भी होगा. एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू डिटरमाइन द सुपर स्ट्रक्चर. तो अब मान लीजिए अगर बेस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में आपने कर दिया दैट वी नीड टू हैव अ रेजीम ऑफ प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी, सब कुछ प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी बन जाना चाहिए, तो आपका सुपर स्ट्रक्चर भी बदलेगा. सो इट मीन्स द सर्फ कैन नॉट रिमेन अटैच टू द लैंड. तो आप क्या देखेंगे, बॉन्डेड लेबर यहां पे खत्म हो रहा है. एंड यू गेट द आइडिया ऑफ जुरिडिकल इक्वालिटी, है ना. आपको यहां क्या दिखता है, जुरिडिकल इक्वालिटी नजर आएगा. यू विल गेट द आइडिया ऑफ इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. यू विल गेट द आइडिया ऑफ लिमिटेड स्टेट. यू विल गेट द आइडिया ऑफ लिमिटेड डेमोक्रेसी. ये सारी चीजें ऊपर बदल रही हैं क्योंकि नीचे चीजें बदल चुकी हैं. And then Marx says कि in the capitalist framework, again you will have a contradiction. You will get one class which is known as the bourgeoisie, and the second class which is known as the proletariat. प्रोलेटेरियत, और जब आप इन दोनों को देखेंगे तो दिस इज द एक्स, दिस इज द वाई, there is a unity of opposite, contradiction is inherent, and this is going to lead to a new stage in the historical development. And this Marx said will be the socialist stage. And through the socialist stage, Marx dictatorship of proletariat. And then the dictatorship of proletariat also has a contradiction going on. There are some people who want to move towards communism, and there are some people who want to get back to capitalism. So why do we need a dictatorship? To counter the so-called counter-revolutionaries, people who believe in capitalism. And then from here, a principle will emerge, from each according to his capacity, to each according to his work. And then Marx says that finally you will reach the stage of communism. And when you think about communism, the idea of communism has remained in existence for long. Plato talked about communism of wives and property, right? There are many other communism ideas. But if you think carefully, Marx's idea of dialectical change and historical materialism is giving a scientific basis of communism. And communism is the first society in which there is no class division. यहाँ पे आते आते क्या हो चुका है? Class division खत्म. That is why Marx says that after communism there is no dialectical change as well, क्योंकि अब opposite कुछ रहा ही नहीं है ना. There is no opposition as well. And then अगर opposition नहीं रहा, so the entire superstructure will also change. अगर अभी तक सभी stages पे politics या state was supporting the so-called dominant classes, तो यहां पे तो अब इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है, तो स्टेट की जरूरत खत्म. तो आप लोगों ने स्टेट की थ्योरी में क्या पढ़ा है? स्टेट विल ग्रेजुअली विदर अवे, है ना. सो कम्युनिज्म इज बेसिकली ए क्लासलेस सोसाइटी. ठीक है, ये क्या है? एक क्लासलेस सोसाइटी है. सो व्हाट मार्क्स सेड वाज दैट वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अ हिस्टोरिकल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी लाइक दिस. एंड ही सेज कि इनको आप नॉर्मल मत समझिए, दीज आर एपॉक्स ऑफ हिस्ट्री. ये टाइम के साथ एपॉक के रूप में डेवलप होते हैं. दीज आर लॉन्ग टर्म्स इन हिस्ट्री. दिस इज द टू मेजर आर्ग्यूमेंट्स बाय कार्ल मार्क्स, हिस्टोरिकल मटेरियलिज्म एंड डायलेक्टिकल चेंज. समझ में आया तुम लोगों को ये? दिस इज, एंड नाउ टेल मी, इज मार्क्स स्पीकिंग इन naive manner or does Marx has a very strong scientific outlook? Think about it. ये हवाबादी हवाई बातें हो रही हैं या is always giving some reasons for it? Siddhant, what's your opinion? Or are you a Marxist? No, you don't be a Marxist. You cannot be a civil servant then. Always remember. But ना, some people might say that you can be a civil servant as well. Okay. So write it down. इसको लिख लो आज. खोलो कॉपी. स्टार्ट करो. ब्रेक चाहिए? अरे तो फिर तो लिख के फिर क्लास ही खत्म करूंगा. ब्रेक किस लिए होगा? आप चलो 2 मिनट का ब्रेक. 2 मिनट्स ओनली. इसको मैं लिखवाना चाह रहा हूं फटाफट आप लोगों को. हाँ दिखाओ दिखाओ, जमा कर दो, अभी तो टाइम नहीं है पढ़ने का. ओके, लेट मी चेक. बोथ आर हैविंग, बोथ हैव. सेंटेंस ठीक करो. ठीक है, ये स्टेटमेंट तो फिर भी ठीक है. इंडिविजुअल, इंडिविजुअल टर्म यूज को वाइल मत करो. अगर फुल स्टॉप है तो ये बड़ा होगा, नहीं है तो वेयर एज. वाइल की जगह हो जाएगा वेयर एज. ये छोटा हो जाएगा. इन फेवर ऑफ, in favor of nurture over nature claims. ठीक है. full stop. देर इसे हटा दो, ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. ये पॉइंट को और एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो. हम्म. छोटा. कंक्लूजन्स नहीं होता है, कंक्लूजन होता है. सिमिलैरिटीज. ये मत लिखो, बेकार है ना. The conclusion, you know what is the meaning of conclusion? The meaning of conclusion is that whatever that have you have written in the answer, you provide a brief summary of it. So, social liberalism and socialism are an attempt to organize the industrial society. ठीक है? Both have different outlooks highlighted from multiple points individually ये सब. Any and इसमें एक लाइन लास्ट में ये लिख देना. Over the period of time, liberalism has developed as a meta ideology. The modern version of liberalism has adopted socialist element as well. ऐसे कंक्लूजन ऐसे होता है. ये आंसर फिर लिखो. लो 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 लो. या ट्रेन में याद आया, तभी ट्रेन में लिखा है. Why this बहाना? ये लग तो नहीं रहा है कि तुमने ट्रेन में लिखा है इसको. तुम ट्रेन में ऐसा लिखते हो तो एग्जाम में कैसा लिखोगे? वेरी गुड इंट्रोडक्शन सिद्धांत, ये अंशु. बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे ये पढ़ के. प्रिसाइज. इधर आओ, पढ़ो इसको. ये देखो. सो दे बिकेम द मेन स्ट्रीम आइडियोलॉजी आफ्टर द एडवेंट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन, है ना. बेसिकली वो आर्ग्यूमेंट हो गया. लिबरलिज्म वाज द आइडियोलॉजी ऑफ द एस्पायरिंग मिडिल क्लासेस व्हाइल सोशलिज्म इमर्ज्ड डोमिनेंट ड्यू टू द इल इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म. समझे, एक ही स्टेटमेंट में आपने मेन बात कर दी. हाँ ठीक है. एटॉमिस्ट बीइंग बट ऑल्सो से however the modern liberals have a ethical view, है ना. हाँ हाँ. इट्स वेरी गुड. ये ऊपर ले आओ यहाँ पे. कोऑपरेटिव स्पिरिट कहाँ गया? प्रोसीजर इक्वालिटी. ठीक है. सोशल इक्वालिटी का आर्ग्यूमेंट है. ये पॉइंट और अच्छा हो सकता है. वेरी गुड. ये मत करो, पूरा लिखो. क्लासेस पूरा लिखो इसको. इट्स अ वंडरफुल आंसर. कॉपी पेस्ट. गिव मी 1 minute. All right. So let me make you all write these points. Okay. Give a subheading: core conceptions of Marxism of Marx. Core conception of Marxism, Marx. Core conception of Marxism of Marx. Write the first point in it. Historical materialism. Historical materialism. Dash. Marx aimed to provide a materialistic conception of history. Marx aimed to provide a materialistic conception of history which was based on importance. Materialistic conception of history which was based on importance of economic aspects of life, based on importance of economic aspects of life and the conditions under which people produced their means of subsistence. People produced their means of subsistence. Full stop. Unlike idealists who argued that consciousness determines all other spheres of human endeavor, like idealists who argued that consciousness determines all other spheres of human endeavor, ENDEAVOUR, comma, Marx's argument was that the individual must live, that the person must live to do any such activity. That the person must live to do any such activity. Full stop. Hence, the focus of philosophy, or any theory of social and historical change, must be on the real living human beings. Full stop. According to Marx, it is not thinking which is the primary. Starting point. Rather, it is the act of production. Full stop. To stretch Marx's argument, there can be no life without production. For example, the act of breathing consumes oxygen and produces energy. Comma. Same applies to act of eating. Full stop. Interestingly, the production of a human is in itself an act of production. Similarly, ऐसे production, the birth of human लिख लो, the birth of human is in itself an act of production, which requires a cooperative effort, full stop. Hence Marx argued that humans produce socially and cooperatively, which had involved spontaneous development of division of labor, full stop. Hence the production dash economic basis of society, is the starting point, which determines other spheres like law and politics or state, dash superstructure, full stop. Technical developments and conflicts in the base, comma, relations of production in the base, determine the superstructure and changes in it, right? Next point, dialectical change. While materialist conception of history made Marx argue that social being determines consciousness, he embraced the Hegelian perspective, that the driving force of history, was dialectic, which implies a process of development, through interaction between opposite forces, that are part of a unified whole, full stop. To put it differently, any system contains a thesis, comma, its antithesis, and this internal contradiction leads to development of a new stage of society, of a new stage of society, that is the synthesis. That is the synthesis. Full stop. Marx identified four such stages. Marx identified four such stages. Subpoint number 1, primitive communism or tribal society. Primitive communism or tribal society. Subpoint number 2, slave society. Subpoint number 2, slave society. Subpoint number 3, feudal society. Feudal society. Subpoint number 4, capitalist society. फुल स्टॉप. सब पॉइंट्स लिखे. अब इसी में पॉइंट्स की तरह एक पैराग्राफ में ही लिखना, ईच स्टेज ऑफ सोसाइटी इज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. ईच स्टेज ऑफ सोसाइटी इज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन and the dominant class creates ideology, and the dominant class creates ideology to sustain the system. Creates ideology to sustain the system. Full stop. This led Marx to claim that the history of all hitherto existing societies is nothing but a history of class struggle. Full stop. However, Marx made a prediction on this law. That the capitalist society will be replaced. By a socialist dictatorship of proletariat. That will gradually move towards communism. Leading to end of prehistory of mankind. Comma, class divisions and exploitation. That's it for today. I meet you all on Saturday. Saturday is what? Prehistory of mankind, leading to end of class divisions and exploitation.